Hey, what's up, everybody? This is 𝘗𝘪𝘳𝘐𝑢 on June 15th. It's Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. We're back here again for the weekly Pirate Chain community meeting. This is where we like to go over the charts, look at the price action in the entire market as a whole, especially Pirate Chain. And today, my co-host will not be joining me. That's Vivian. She is busy today. And that kind of felt right because when she's here, we like to talk about broader topics, what's going on in the world, etc. But today we should focus on the charts because there's a lot of information out there, and I happen to think that I'm pretty good at discerning who to listen to and who not to listen to, and especially when everyone's thinking one thing, thinking the opposite, which is very hard to do. So right now was a pretty historic day overall. Federal Reserve met. Jerome Powell, within 3 minutes, announced that they're doing a third of a, I don't know, I think it was a point or something. I forget, I have to read it. Basically, they raised the interest rates again. Now, the question to ask is, them doing so bullish for the markets, at least for a short-term rally, or is it bearish? And the only way to really figure that out, well, part of the way is through technical analysis. The other would be fundamental analysis. So if anyone has any fundamentals they'd like to share in that regard, please let me know. At the end of the call, we'll be opening this up to a discussion, Q&A, etc. But we're going to dive into the technical analysis. Now, before we do that, let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We're at a 7 today. And if I zoom out to the max, since 2018, this is not the lowest we've been, but it's pretty damn low. The lowest here was, well, it doesn't want to show me, but I'm going to guess that it was probably like a, I wish I could get to it. Damn. I don't know, it's pretty damn low. It's definitely lower than 7, that's for sure. And then we've got this cluster of fear in the market, which is, I mean, damn, like we are long overdue for a rally, I would say. But we might not get that just yet. Let's move on to the CoinGecko. Look at the market cap as a whole, all these projects. Bitcoin currently at 22,650. So we're holding that 20K level as we speak. But let's pull up Pirate Chain. Rank number 20 or 277 out of 13,436 possible cryptos, tokens, whatever. So right now we're hanging out at 43 cents, almost 44 cents. Back when the 𝘗𝘪𝘳𝘐𝘪𝘳𝘬𝘭𝘺 recommended Pirate Chain, or maybe I think it was the Crypto Vigilante. They put that out on their newsletter. You know, they released it around 6 cents, quickly spiked up to 40 cents, came up, came down, kind of hovered around 40 cents. And that was the first time that I went to Acapulco, in Acapulco, first time ever. And I wanted to meet these guys, see if they were the real deal. And sure enough, they were. And that was where I met 𝘗𝘪𝘳𝘍, Fleet Commander 𝘗𝘓𝘗, the legend. And we totally hit it off, kept in touch, and that's where it all began. That's why I'm here now. Thank you, 𝘗𝘓𝘗. So, the point I'm trying to make is that that 40 cent level when they announced it was the ultimate buying opportunity. So if you put $5 grand into Pirate Chain, like right when they announced it, around 6 cents, by the time it spiked to its all-time high, would have been worth almost $1.5 million from $5 grand. Okay, so I first got involved around 40 cents. Was thankful for that, and when it went to 17 bucks, I mean that was the best trade I've ever done in my life, and it was because I trusted the best financial newsletter I think on the planet for cryptocurrency and the markets as a whole, and you know, I trusted 𝘗𝘓𝘗. I saw what the movement that he was bringing to Acapulco, giving away free shirts, taking photos with everyone, answering their questions. It was exciting, and I'm really glad that I got involved back then and had that big win. But the point I'm trying to make with this story is that here we are again, kind of around 40 cents. So if you ask me, this is the ultimate buying opportunity right now. It probably won't be the best entry, but it's pretty damn good. I mean, if I could go back when I first saw this around 40 cents, I would have certainly got more than what I did. And my life would be very different right now. So this is your chance. Whether you are new to Pirate Chain or you've been around, this is your chance. There is a massive distribution of coins or wealth happening right now. This is where everything changes. And if you ask me, the future leaders of the free world, of the era age of Aquarius, the leaders, teachers, healers, are going to be the ones that have the market share of these privacy coins. Okay, so that's not me saying everybody sell the farm and, you know, just try to get as much Pirate and Monero or whatever as you can so you can have more power. But you'll certainly have more of the ability to make change in the world and live the life that you want, a life of freedom, and living at your highest values by investing in the space at these levels. So I've been pounding the desk for weeks now, really months. I've said that we're in a bear market. I knew that all of this was going to happen. Downside targets I've been calling for. I've gotten so much resistance. Well, actually less resistance than I thought. So I just think my reach isn't as strong as it might soon be. But I've definitely got some resistance, even from folks within Pirate Chain. They really just didn't believe that 20K was possible, or that lower prices are even possible. So, you know, right now, you know, if you haven't already gotten some Pirate Chain, this is, you know, just my opinion, not financial advice. You should definitely be dollar cost averaging in right now, all the way down to potentially a 10-cent Pirate Chain. Is absolutely the potential. I'm sorry for the pirate whales that don't want to hear that. But this is the chance for guys like me and you, gals like you, to become true whales within Pirate Chain. This is your chance. This is the distribution where maybe some of the whales that didn't take profits, didn't sell. I'm not talking about $17. That was tough. But, I mean, you could have taken profits at $2, $5, $7, you know, to buy back in lower. And the reason we do these weekly calls is because, you know, I think that those who put the time in, those who are intellectual, intelligent, disciplined, they're going to be able to dominate these markets by making better decisions. You know, there's you know, quite a different ways to approach investing overall. The time perspective is definitely key. And when talking to Raphael and you know, some friends of mine that do have a higher net worth and you know, might not be they just have more experience. They wouldn't make as bad decisions as someone like me would, or let's say a beginner in this market. You know, they are very comfortable buying and holding for the long term. They're not interested in selling the tops. They just want to get their stash, and they want to move on with their life, and you know, bless them if they're in a position to do that, because that's amazing. I wish I was. I wish I could just throw hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars at this market and just move on with my life and keep playing music. But I'm here putting in the time, being disciplined, strategic, so that I can get the best entry possible by buying low, you know? And that's what we're here to do. So this is Pirate Chain. We're at a low of 38 cents today. Now we're at almost 44 cents. Trading volume 300,000. Market cap right now under 100 million. Hello, that's super low. I mean, you could even call this a micro cap at this point. I mean, Jesus, there's not even $1 billion in this space, let alone 100 million. So the potential for this to get absolutely insane is still here. We're still up 5,400% just about from the all-time high within the last year. So a huge opportunity, guys. I mean, this is, you know, I got a lot of slack from the Monero guys because I publicly said, you know, went on their chat and I said, hey, if you guys are really interested in privacy, well, then you should probably look at Pirate Chain because it's an equal, if not stronger, cryptographic technology, and the buy-in prices it doesn't even compare. I mean, at the time, it was like, do you want to pay $200 for Monero, or do you want to pay like 40 cents for a Pirate Chain, which could one day surpass Monero, which could one day be worth $200 a Pirate Chain. So to me, it's a no-brainer, especially if you're new to crypto, if you're more on the strategic side, if you you know, want to make a little go a long way. All right, so let's move into some charts. The reason for the turmoil in the markets, as I've been pointing out for months, is that the DXY, dollar currency index, has been on a tear. It's gone parabolic. It's put in a double bottom here since May 31st this year, or I'm sorry, last year. So for the last year, just about, it's been going parabolic, and it's looking, from a bullish stance for the dollar, it's looking good, because we hit resistance here, which was resistance before the well, pretty much at the 2017 top, market cycle top. Dollar started going down. Oh no, sorry. It would be the opposite, right? So as the dollar goes down, crypto goes up, or it has in the past. So basically, by the time we got to that 2017 peak, which we're basically at now, testing as support, the dollar bottomed, and we're back up again. You know, I mean, if I really zoom out, I want to see this. All right. Yeah. So this is pretty historic resistance that we're coming up, and that we've now crossed, and we're finding support on. So to me, I mean, I really don't see why the dollar wouldn't just keep going. And if I zoom out, I mean, the next target really is $1.20 for a dollar. I mean, if we get above this, the next target is $1.20. And right now, it's like 15 cents more than where we're at. That would be some Great Depression level destruction in all of the markets if that happened. And right now, it's looking like it could play out. So, got to keep an eye on this. The chart below here is Bitcoin against the dollar. And if we take the average of the bear market correction, it's around 82.5%. And that brings us down to the target of around 11,500. So we do have a ways to go to get there. And we've certainly been making our way there faster than almost everyone that I follow in the space anticipated, including myself. So that in itself has its own factors that we need to consider for how low these prices can go, because from what I gather, that is pretty bearish. Like, this should have taken a little bit longer to play out, you know, to reach 20K. So, I mean, there's definitely potential for lower targets in the cards, you know. So that's the dollar. Also want to take a look now. Let's just go to the Dow Jones. Lately, I've just been, like, this chart is equal to my Bitcoin charts. Like, I will not enter a trade if the Dow doesn't look like it's finding support on one of these Fibonacci rings or a trend line or anything. I mean, it's silly, because until the Great Reset happens and people find more safety in free market cryptos than, you know, volatile, highly regulated traditional assets, then these markets are correlated. So right now we are finding support with the Dow on this fib circle, but really, I mean, the next target down is this fib ring. This is a major target. So in the grand perspective, we're halfway between the top, which we could not hold as support, and the next target down is about 28,100 on the Dow, and that's going to go. It's going to become a lower target over time with each passing day. Okay, so that's really what I'm eyeing up as potential support if these markets are going to turn around. I mean, if the Dow pushes up here, I would like that, because it's going to cause Bitcoin and these alts to go on a nice rally, and we'll go into those targets that could happen. But overall, I'm kind of bearish. I mean, this is definitely a confirmed bear market, and there's speculation as to whether it just started or it's actually been happening since the second all-time high within this bull market cycle. So what that means is that if it's been going on for a while, which is possible, then we could be closer to the bottom and closer to a new market cycle than we thought. But we'll have to see. So the point being, I'm really not expecting the Dow to come above this fib ring. I mean, if it does, I'd look out for a trap, you know, price to come up a little bit and then just go right back down. or we just find resistance, and then we're definitely coming down to this next ring. This target, 27,673 on the Dow. Looks like a pretty good time that it might play out. Yeah, we do have the stochastic RSI on the 1 day starting to turn up, so that could just be from this little bounce that we had. But MACD is still really trending downward, starting to maybe curve. So we're not sure if this is going to hold the support. I see the markets are kind of rallying a little. They're not rallying, but they're bouncing a little bit off of the Fed's interest rate news. But I mean, there's still a lot of downside pressure, and we're just gonna have to keep looking. I mean, it's the Dow Jones close up. I was eyeing this up today when entering trades. Just if you want to see what I do here, I mean, you can draw trend lines as you go, and it's incredible how they respect them. I mean, I've not touched any of these trend lines since I made them today, around like 3 o'clock p.m. Okay, so it's we're kind of finding support here, but we're gonna have to come back down and test this tomorrow before we see if the Dow's gonna move up. If it does, I would definitely be in some long positions, just honestly just to scalp trade or take profits. I mean, if you got some heavy losses, this is not the time to sell your bags. I would recommend hanging on just a little bit longer for some kind of relief rally, because we are at historical support right now, which, let's get into that, right? So this is the chart of charts, the M1 chart. And right now, we've spent 3 days kind of playing with this fib line, which coincides with the 200 weekly moving average. Okay, so we are testing this as support, but we're not quite out of the woods here. There's some targets down here. We come down to 18,600 as potential. Before really getting some kind of bounce here. But if we do find support here, the biggest upside target we could go is potentially 27,243. And if Bitcoin does get to that price, I mean, it's risky. I wouldn't sell everything then, but I would definitely take some off the table, and Pirate Chain included. I mean, it's a move like that, I would hope. I mean, it could potentially bring Pirate back up to like 70 cents, which is not a double your money trade, but that would be a good time to take some off the table. All right, let's look at some more Bitcoin charts. This is close up here. Yes, we're getting like, we kind of have like, I wouldn't call this triple bottom. It's only a 30-minute chart, but we're definitely finding support here. It's starting to move up. Let's move on here. Oh, that is the chart of charts. We're going to come back. We're going to go there last. All right. This is a great chart. We got Bitcoin against the dollar on the 4-hour with Bitstamp. You can see we found support here. We got a nice little bounce off here with the Fed news. I did enter a trade there because that was kind of fun. Risky as hell, but as soon as that boy sputtered out that interest rate hike, I was like, well, this is it. I mean, the market's either going to bounce, have some kind of rally, or it's going to freaking tank even more. And it started bouncing, and I was like, fuck it. I just entered a trade and just wrote it up for a little bit of, like, a little scalp trade. But I'm really not, I want to see this come back down and find stronger support before I really start to go long on this thing, Moving on. Let's see. Let's go back to, like, some shorter time frame charts before I get into the big ones here. That one's loading. These are loading. Sorry. Alright, still, that's definitely a large time frame chart. Okay. God damn it. Forget it. It looks like, here we go. So, this is a 1-hour time frame on Coinbase. This is the chart I was really using to trade. So you can see this this downward trend line has been resistance. We broke above, found support, and we're continuing up. So this is, we could potentially keep going. I'd say 23K is a target where you might want to take some profits, but if we keep going beyond that, then we may as well go to 27K. Alright. This is Bitcoin against the dollar on a 2-hour chart. Definitely resistance ahead. Highest target here, yep. This is confluence. So anytime you have multiple charts showing the same price targets at resistance and support levels, that is usually a good time to enter a trade or exit one. So 23K is, there's confluence among various charts here. We've got the MACD trending up. It's looking good. Yeah, definitely has a little more room to run, but we're definitely oversold on the RSI. I mean, shit, what's oversold right now? Everything's oversold. You know? Like everything, so it's all oversold. So, like I said, I mean, buying now, you're not going to regret it 2 years from now, and you might not regret it 2 weeks from now if the price does somehow continue up and have a little relief rally. Okay. I'm kind of like, this chart here looks great. Bitcoin against the US dollar on a 3-hour with Bitstamp. These two trend lines crossing equals double support. So I could see price coming back down here in the next 6 hours, maybe finding support there around 21,750. And to me, that will be a good place to enter a trade if it holds. Right? It might wick down if it starts holding. That's where I'd probably enter a trade. Looks like we might need to come back down here, find some support before we can start tackling 23K and above. All right, let's move on to some larger time frame charts. This is the weekly chart, Bitcoin against the US dollar on Bitstamp. And the reason I say Bitstamp, Exchange, Coinbase, whatever, is because they'll trade at different prices. So, again, why it's ridiculous but important to have multiple charts up, different exchanges, different time frames, and then look for confluence amongst all of those. Right? And Bitstamp is usually fairly accurate. I think it has the most history of Bitcoin. Of like any, they started trading Bitcoin like long before Coinbase, well, some of these other newer exchanges, Kraken and stuff. RSI is flat, super oversold. Okay, that's bullish for a potential bounce, but as you can see, we could stay here for a while. We could just stagnate here being oversold for a while. MACD still trending down. Okay, but the key point I want to make here is, this is a large time frame chart. The weekly has way more data, more time perspective potential than, any daily or hourly chart, right? And you can see, I mean, price wick down all the way to, just about 20,000 flat. And we have gotten bought up to where we're at now, 22.5K, which is currently the 200 weekly moving average. This is support. So if there was going to be a relief rally, this is where it would happen from here. That is if we don't continue this capitulation. But if I zoom out, you guys probably know this, but for all the new kids in town, this same yellow 200 weekly moving average, it was major support in the bear market, the bottom of the bear market in 2018. That's all the data we have for it, really. Well, I guess you can count this year, bear market 2015. That's kind of where this started. It was support. Holy shit, for 4 bear markets in a row now. And each time we went on to push on all-time highs. Okay, so are you stupid for buying now? Is crypto done forever? That's nonsense. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been waiting for this moment right now for 5 years. And I'm telling you with full confidence that you are not going to go wrong by dollar cost averaging in at these levels. You're going to go very right, actually. We're definitely closer to a bottom than a top. Way closer. So continuing on, second bear market, we found support on this moving average 2018. COVID crash, March of 2020, we found support, actually broke it, went all the way down to the, I think this is the 400 weekly moving average, yep, next one down. And here we are, we kind of started to head that way towards the 400 week, but we didn't quite get there. There's definitely some confluence here at this fib level. Which I'd like to tell you what it is. It's 1. Okay, it's right. Wow. Okay, that's like the 0 point right there. So I can see why that held, as decent support for the moment. So yeah, the question is now, right? Like, will this become the bottom? Will this 200 weekly hold, or will we test down lower and ultimately come back up to the 200 weekly, find some support, and then continue the next bull market? Now, if you were to ask me, because I spend every day looking at these and studying the best analysts in the space, considering the macro picture, it is highly likely we're going to see lower prices all around. Stocks, crypto, Bitcoin, pirate chain, even gold, precious metals, for a time. It's highly likely there's a lot of fear and uncertainty in the markets. The inflation issue is it's very real. And I made a post about this a couple of days ago. Like everyone's complaining about gas prices. I just had to say it. I mean, like, great, complain, but like, do you understand why this is happening? Like, this is your opportunity. This is the universe smacking you in the face, saying, "Yo, here's the central banking system at it again." And this has been going on for centuries. There has been these small groups of people basically killing the opposition, killing the free market, the true capitalists, the true freedom fighters, of the world. Guys like Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln. We're going way back. Like, these guys have been fighting central banks for a long time. And as you can see, that war was lost. That war was lost. And our hope and prayer is that Bitcoin was created, because now there's this air-age technology, the internet, and the ultimate tech, blockchain, built on top of it. And that's what, we have, the free market. That's what the people have to now create a better way. So this is the time to get educated, start learning about central banking scams throughout history so that history doesn't repeat itself. And I had to make a post about that on Facebook. By the way, if you guys, I am more active on Fedbook for some reason. I just feel like that's where I get the most engagement. Not interested in shaking my ass on TikTok. Even though I'm going to be getting on TikTok, I know it's where everybody's at, right? But if you want to follow my updates and what I'm doing, hit me up on Facebook at @BLoveandBU, BLUVNBU. Just so you don't miss a lot of these market updates that I'm consistently putting out now that it's starting to catch on. So I told everyone to check out the central banking scam. I dropped a YouTube link, the Masters of Money, I think it's called. 3 hours. 3 hours of this, how central banks have just scammed humanity for decades and decades. And it's happening again, right? With the printing of money, with a staged pandemic as the problem, reaction, solution. Okay, the reaction is let's print money. The reaction is massive inflation. Jesus, gas is expensive. Unfortunately, I'm selling my truck back here. It's an 8-cylinder, 4-wheel drive, beautiful truck, but right now, auto market's up 40%, and I think that bubble popped. I know that popped. Like, if you're trying to buy a new car right now, like, that's the worst decision you could make in your financial investment life. Cars can last you a long time. Okay, so you don't want to be stuck with a payment that's higher than it needs to be. Wait a year and a half and watch these new cars start dropping in massive values as they're just trying to, you can't get them off the lots fast enough. Every day that goes by, a new vehicle depreciates, brand new, right? So what is that going to do to the used car market? It's not going to be good. Supply and demand, right? Oh, well, why would I buy this used car, this rust bucket, when I could get something new for cheaper? The prices came down. Exactly. So is this the time to sell your used car if you don't need it? Hell yeah, that's what I'm doing. And you know exactly what I'll be doing with the cash when it comes in. Oh, man. Anyway, so let's get out of this weekly chart. This is daily Bitcoin US dollar. Not much to say here. We haven't touched major levels of support like 18K. Haven't done it yet. Haven't touched the 300-week moving average. Which actually, if I go back, this might be a 300-week moving average. Yeah, that red one there. Okay, sorry, that was not the 400. I'll show you that one. So let's get to the one more chart before I get to the chart of charts. I gotta find it, but this is so important to look at right now, everybody. Bitcoin dominance. What does that mean? It simply means in all of the market cap, this means how much of it is in Bitcoin and how much of it is in altcoins. And there's other charts you can pull up too. I recommend it, where you can search Bitcoin dominance of just the altcoin market cap. You can search dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum only against the alts. So there's a lot of variations of this, and what we're seeing now is that this fib circle, which we broke here as support, couldn't hold support, came back down, now we went back above, we just tapped it as resistance again. Okay, so this is, I mean, it's bearish overall, definitely for Bitcoin. This means that money's flowing out of Bitcoin, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's flowing into altcoins and that the altcoins are going to pump, because money is also flowing out of altcoins too. But to me, this is, this is looking good for the price of altcoins potentially going up against Bitcoin, because we found this as strong resistance, very strong resistance. I mean, we've been playing with this since December of 2021, so it's been a while, right? But it's going to take a lot of effort to come all the way back up here and, get back into this fib circle and start getting above. I mean, it's going to take some work. So I like to see this because altcoins are the play, in my opinion. And you're just, do you want to 3x your money with Bitcoin, or do you want to fucking 10,000 extra money with altcoins? Plus Bitcoin, we know, is a surveillance coin. It's not private by default. It never will be. They can talk about it. They can try to compensate, but it'll always just be a band-aid solution. And that's why Pirate Chain is beautiful. It's built at the protocol level, in the code, in the white paper. There are no exceptions. There's no optional privacy. It is a privacy coin. 100%. Just like Monero. And just like 𝘊𝘪𝘳𝘢𝘪𝘯. And a few others, right? So this looks good. I'd like to see this keep coming down so that maybe this will help the altcoins pop off. One thing I do want to bring up is that if you've been following my market updates for months now, I've been talking about the potential of basically every time Bitcoin capitulates after the all-time high in a bull market cycle, there is this massive, blow off top in the altcoins. Not every time, but historically that has happened. And I've been looking for that to happen, and it's usually one last hurrah. As the money flows out of Bitcoin, it flows into altcoins. Altcoins pump, go parabolic, go insane, and that's it. Then the bear market really continues and just drags out for months, if not years. So I like to see the dominance going down because it's kind of giving me hope that there might be something like that again. Although right now I'm like 60-40 on it. I'm like 60% that it's not going to happen, given the greater market conditions. And I'm 40% that it could happen because all of these altcoins are just about 95% down from their all-time highs, and they have not made an all-time high in this bull market cycle. I mean, not really, So there's hope. If that happens, that is definitely a self-top thing, and take profits and wait for the bottom of the bear market, which is what we're going to talk about now. Alright, so welcome. This is the chart of charts. Once again, got to give a shout out to my boy Steve, opticalartcrypto.com. If you guys want lifetime access to these charts, you can subscribe monthly or occasionally he'll do a lifetime thing. If you say that Be Love and Be You referred you, would you consider offering lifetime? I'm sure he'd throw you a bone. It's like $300 for life. And it's been the best investment I've made for my charting and analysis and my trades. I actually regret not using these because I paid for it and I wasn't using them for a while, and I learned the hard way because, his targets are to the tick of like when you would want to sell or short and when you would want to buy and long, to the tick. There's a lot of great traders out there. The crypto vigilantes, great traders, good guys, but there's a trader and then there's a chart, and the two are not the same. And to me, I trust the charts. Steve is always on his Twitter for his subscribers, making calls, helping people out where he can. But I don't listen to everything he says. I watch his charts. So yeah, this is we're gonna break this down because I had a fellow pirate, say that there's a great guy, by the way, no harm, no foul, but he was like, there's no way Bitcoin's going to 10K, right? And it's like, I was just like, bro, there's a reason that I'm doing the weekly Pirate Chain calls. I'm not trying to brag or toot my horn here, but you think 𝘗𝘪𝘳𝘢𝘪𝘳 or any of you guys would have me doing this if you didn't know that I didn't have the best charts in the game and I wasn't like level-headed and part of the movement and able to read these with like a unbiased opinion. You know, so I'm telling you that these charts are calling for a 10K Bitcoin. And let me break it down and show you why. So this here was a bull market in 2013. All right, all the way down to the bear market low of 2015. Once we got past this Fibonacci line, top came in, support, rally, support, rally, support, rally, and all the way down we finally found support pretty much on it. Okay, now fast forward to the 2017 bull market. Once we broke this same Fibonacci line, all-time high is in, broke support, came up, rally, support, rally, support, rally, and bam, we're at 3K Bitcoin 2018 when I called the bottom. It's that same trend line. You see that from basically the top when it went parabolic to the bottom is the same trend line. Okay, that's 2 times. Now we're on a 3rd time. This was that really weird, unexpected rally from that bear market low of 2018 all the way to like 14K in 2019. That one caught me off guard, I'm not going to lie. It's the 2nd time the market got away from me. I really effed up there by just not, you know, I had just enough to get like 80% of a Bitcoin, and I was like, nah, I need more, I got to get at least 1, and then it was, see ya. Now you're getting shit. So I just traded my way up there and did what I could, but, you know, look, once we hit that top around 14K, support, rally, support, rally, support, rally, support, rally, and then COVID crash. And where did we bottom? Where did we bottom? Can you see that? Maybe I should zoom in here for you since we're kind of getting to the good stuff. Look at this. We bottomed on this 300 weekly moving average. But we came up real quick. This was a wick. It was not a candle body close. Came up and found support again on that trend line. And this was definitely the biggest mistake of my life because I actually had capital to deploy for once in my life, and I ended up trading my way up until prices got away from me. You know, I effed up, man. My life would look a lot different right now if I had these charts up and I was paying attention. So seriously, if you're watching this, you're truly blessed, and I should be charging to share this with people. And maybe I will one day. I don't know. I'm certainly not going to be doing this forever. So if you're here, share this with someone you love. You know, tell them to show up and be a part of this because I will not be doing this forever. and it's simply because, you know, when Pirate does take off, we're well into the next bull market. Like I'm gonna be taking a step back from a lot of things because I'm not going to need to build my career, reputation, or finances. It's something I've been working towards my whole fucking life, to be honest. Like, I hate the pressure of having to get followers, get likes, make money. I hate it. To me, it's the antithesis of a free world. And all it takes is one good trade like this, you guys and gals. And one good trade like this, you got the best charts in the game staring in the face. Okay, that trend line called bottom, and even more confirmation was the fact that we touched this 300 weekly moving average. So, yeah, that was a no-brainer time to buy. And yes, Steve did call that. He did have the charts. He called that, you know. And this was about a 72% correction from that bull market. Looking back, this 2017 high was an 83% correction. When you factor in all of the bear market corrections from the top, it comes out to about, you know, between 82 or 83.5% and 85% down from the top. So here we are again, you guys. Here's this trend line. Hello. Parabolic blow off top, came above, found support, rally, rally, resistance, support, support, rally again. This was quite an unexpected rally. But I'm thankful to say that I was not wise enough to sell here at that first top in this bull market, but I was wise enough to know, like, hey, this is a place to buy, and fucking rode that shit all the way up. So it was kind of like a second chance. I mean, that was a double your money play on almost everything, no matter what crypto you were in. So it was at least a chance to regain your losses if you didn't sell the first top. This is 100% a macro double top. This is what it looks like, and this is like history in the making, guys. We don't see this often in any market, you know. This is like a phenomenon. I'm not saying it never happens. I'm saying, like, this is cool. when like a textbook pattern like plays out, and it's like, wow, like, that is what it was, like, look at where we're at now. Like, this is a top, this is a double top, went a little bit higher. That happens. Doesn't have to be the same price or lower, but this was a double top. And on a macro scale, that's bearish for Bitcoin. So one could argue the bear market started here on the 22nd of May 2021, which brings us to here about a year later. Okay, so if the bear market typically lasts, a year and a half to 2-3 years, then that's why there's speculation that we've been in this bear market for a while. Once this top went down, I've been calling a bear market ever since November of 2021. I've literally been publicly, everyone I talk to, I'm saying this, we're in a bear market now. This was like a hope area, but we didn't get far. And now you can see this 0.618, right? The Fibonacci, like the natural mathematics of the universe, like, was resistance for our second top in this bull market. It was resistance for this relief rally we had, or retracement rally, is a better word to call it, on March 29th. And it's going to continue to be resistance. It just is. So the way you can look at this is, that's your ultimate top. Right now that's anywhere from 38K to 32K. That's an ultimate top for this, for you to take profits before we actually find a bottom. And you're basically between that price level and this trend line. This is the fourth time in history that this trend line has been a factor. Okay, and we have not even come close to touching it yet. So right now, if it does touch it, that would be 1 out of 5 times in the last 7, 8 years that this has happened. Doesn't have to happen again. There's no guarantees in trading or charting, but the odds are stacked against us tremendously. Anyone that has this chart is ahead of almost everyone in every market. They might be charting it some other way. Who cares? This chart I trust my life with. I trust my assets with. I trust my energy with. It's worth your time to look at. And a lot of people are going to be hating and saying, nah, 20K, 200 weekly moving average is going to hold. But the last bear market, or the last COVID crash, we touched 300 weekly. That would put us around 16,500. Okay, and that price, by the way, would liquidate 𝘗𝘪𝘳. They were able to deploy more capital to lower their stop loss for their massively leveraged positions. I don't know if MicroStrategy did the same. If not, I bet they're going to, because to me that target's inevitable. Because once we, like right here, we could have some kind of rally, but once we touch that 300 weekly, we could have a nice rally, but the highest we're going is like a couple thousand more. That's it. And then this is resistance. We could maybe come up and play with this as resistance for a little bit longer, but I don't see us getting above that. Guys, this was resistance here. Well, anyway, you know what the top would be, or 38K, whatever, but I just see us kind of ping-ponging around here until we fall flat on our faces at 9,670 for Bitcoin. That's what I see. We'll be on top of these charts. Anytime that we're testing this red trend line, that is the time that you should have already sold the farm and you're ready to go all in. That is the time. Because even if it breaks that and we start seeing lower prices, like anywhere from a 5 to a 7K Bitcoin, which is possible, not likely, but possible, you're not going to lose that much at that point. It's worth just holding on to whatever you buy at this red trend line. So really what I'm looking for is this. There's two things I'm looking for right now. I'm looking for a relief rally at this historical support level. Some kind of rally to take a little more profits, take some off the table, and then I'm looking for the actual bottom, which between now and this line here and this trend line kind of places us between now and August. A lot of people are calling for September as a bottom. That's possible, but I would just keep an eye on monthly candle closes. So July 1st, where are we at? You know, it's gonna be another holiday, another holy day, another distraction, right? 4th of July, big fireworks going off, right? Well, what happened to Memorial Day? The markets went insane. Like, I haven't seen price action on this last Memorial Day like in a while. Like I was like, do I enter a trade? Do I enter a trade? I'm looking, I'm waiting. All of a sudden, I close my eyes and fucking Bitcoin is up like $2,000, like literally in seconds. It was the weirdest thing, and it just like exploded up. There was so much pent up energy. I don't know if a whale pushed it up or a market maker or something, but it was so weird to me. And anyway, the point I'm making is keep an eye. It's 4th of July, major distraction going on, but that's a monthly close. You don't want to be drinking, just distracting yourself from what's going on. This is when you want to get your friends together and, look at some charts together. You're like, all right, it's July 1st, where are we at? Okay, where are we going to be August 1st? That next monthly close, where are we going to be? Because it's looking at me like we're going to be somewhere potentially testing this red trend line for the 5th time in history, and that's the time you want to buy. I mean, even if it goes lower, who cares at that point? I'm already in that state of mind, and trust me, it took a long time to get to that place of where like dollar cost averaging was like okay. It's still a little painful, but averaging down, like, it's honestly given me like a new perspective and like peace of mind because when you take a position that you're happy with, that you've and I encourage you to dream bigger than you would expect, right? Like if you're like, oh, I just wish I had 1,000 pirate chain. What's $500? Okay, how am I gonna get $500? Like, come on, how can't you get $500? Like, what do you have to offer the world? Go pitch an investor. Go knock on your uncle's door who has more money than he knows what to do with. Like, fucking do something, because $500 is dipping your little wiener in the water. It's sorry to be so frank, pun intended, but wake up, like these are the moments where wake up, it counts, we're in a spiritual war, we're in a financial reset, and the only way out of this is a reset and a new system. It's the only way out. The Fed is buying time. As I like to say, they're biding time. Brandon's just biding time. I mean, the world is about to change, and keep an eye on this red trend line, right? Look for a rally, take profits, and then look for this red trend line. Okay, it doesn't have to go this low. It doesn't have to, but by the time we're at the end of August, this 400 weekly moving average is going to be pretty much on it, like dead on it. So if I was a big money or big institution or VC, hedge fund manager, whatever, if I was just me, I'd be looking at that as like the ultimate point of entry. And I'm telling you guys now, if Bitcoin goes to 10K, you're going to see a 10-cent pirate chain. You're going to see blood in the streets like never before. I mean, it's the market's already extremely oversold. We're at historical support. Nothing makes sense right now, and that surely is not going to make sense. Am I scared to buy now in dollar cost average? A little bit, yeah, definitely. Because if Pirate goes to 10 cents, Bitcoin goes to 10K, I'm not selling those positions that I average in. I mean, that's just fucking what it is. At that point, I'm saying, where's my extra powder? Where's the capital? Where's that investor? Where's Uncle Larry? With the $100,000, because it's fucking time, right? So it's exciting. Honestly, this is the most exciting time to be alive. I've waited my whole life for this. I've never liked government schooling that I went through. I never went to college. Could have gone for free. I played hooky from the real world and went touring in a band for the last decade, on and off. And I haven't had a job in like 5 years. I built a self-employed Airbnb business, short-term rentals, scalping the market with arbitrage in hospitality and lodging. And I'll never work a job again if it's the last thing I do. I've paid my dues. I feel I've earned the ability to go all in on a position that I have been waiting for my whole life. And then from there, I'm definitely going to change the world from that position. I'm not going to fuck off and buy an island and do Epstein kind of things, because I have no spiritual compass or purpose. That's when I'm just getting started. When Pirate Chain's at $100, that's when I'm just getting started. Seriously. So very exciting times to be alive. On that note, I've got some exciting news that I did finish my first ebook. It's called The Last Stand, the same title as the song that I wrote for Lutz. It's got Pirate Chain in the cover art. Pirate Chain's in it. It's a guidebook for how to survive in the new era age of Aquarius. It's the first written work that I've done in terms of an ebook that I've been writing my whole life, blogging my whole life. It's going to be like 52 pages of, I think, the most cutting-edge worldview that anyone can have. And that includes the most cutting-edge investing strategy of our lifetimes, which is what I've been talking about this whole call, in plain text. So that's going to be coming out on the summer solstice, at which point this first edition is simply going to be maybe a Google Doc or something, and just, like, I want to get feedback on it, because I'm not trying to be the guy that figured anything out and has all the answers, but I figured a lot out, and I only need a few more experts and visionaries to read this and be like, yeah, okay, let's change this here, that fact could be stronger, let's find this, add that in there, here's this link. I need your guys' help in supporting this worldview, supporting this thesis, because come December solstice, it's going live on bookstores all across the web, and I'll have it in print as well, and that's it. So between the solstice to solstice is our chance to validate our worldviews based on putting in the 10,000 hours of lies and deception and unlearning and growth at the same time, experience, networking, everything we've done. I mean, it's all amounted to this point. And once that book is ready in a week, it's time to just get it out to the right people, get those edits in, and then get it out to the world. That's my focus. Yeah, so this was the weekly Pirate Chain call. That's my market analysis. I'll leave these charts up in case anybody has any questions or they want to go through something I did on the charts once again. But yeah, let's open it up. Hey, Amy, what's happening? Hey.
Hey, Matt, I don't know if you can hear me. Sorry to interrupt. I don't know if it's me, but I can't hear you. Me.
Oh, shit. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, at least I recorded it on my phone. Damn it.
Good, thanks.
Have I been on mute this whole time?
I got here late. I just got here.
No, that's okay. But how long have you been here?
Like 10 minutes. But the chats in the other chat were saying you did, like, at the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was... You know why? Because I'm always trying to do something new.
I know. I can't read the charts, but I was like, I took a screenshot of that August 26th day for me. I was like, that doesn't look good. But yeah, I might just have to chat with you later, figure it out.
Yeah, what I try to do is record my screen on QuickTime, and and then it kicked off my audio on.
But no worries, like maybe just like if let people like chat and say hi when you first join, so you can confirm you've got audio and stuff. And I'll let people shoot the shit a little. Just say hi while you start pulling up the charts.
Totally. All right. Well, thank God I recorded the audio, so this wasn't a total waste of time, like God said. I think one to use back instead of wasting time for TA by that. I mean, whatever. Not all pirates are the most intellectual breed of humans. It's a fact.
Or maybe let people start shooting the shit in the beginning, and then ask what charts they might want to see or something like that. I don't know. That'll give you more time to prep anyway.
It would. That's a great idea. I'm going to do that next week. The problem was when I started this. When I started the stream, Pirate Oasis was there. I had one person here, so it didn't hit me to like get that consensus going. Just make sure everyone could hear me. But I guess I had video, and I might have audio too. I mean, I definitely have it on my phone, so I'll post the replay of this today. And sorry.
Nice, you can match it up and stuff.
Yeah, I could sync it up. Sorry about.
It's hard. It's a lot of pressure on you.
All right. How are you doing otherwise?
Yeah. Again, will you give us briefs? Not like I saw whatever charts. Like I didn't know if my audio was messed up, right? So I didn't know if I was doing something wrong. So I exited, came back in, blah blah blah. I know that for what these channels you can do. How come you can do video and we can't?
Oh man, I had to jump through hell and high water to make this happen because I was using like 𝘗𝘪𝘳𝘐𝑡v to do the video audio stuff, and I reached out to Drake and I was like, hey man, can you like give me some permissions? So it's a whole debacle where like he has to assign permissions. And,
yeah. Okay, so we're allowed, we're not, probably to save bandwidth or something like that. That makes sense. But yeah, no, I don't know. Let people shoot the shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people just want to talk, but no, it's a lot of pressure on you. So yeah, what's with the August 26th date? And hopefully I'll be able to move to Texas before that.
Yeah, let's pull up the chart and look at it. It's August. I mean, this isn't like a firm date. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, August 26th. I mean, it doesn't have to be that, but that's like a good approximate time for price to basically come up, go down, come up, go down, find its way down to the support. And this trend line, basically what I was trying to say is like this is the 5th time in the history of bull markets for Bitcoin that there's been this trend line of resistance and support where the bottom was in, you know? So we're pretty much, I mean, we haven't touched the trend line in a while. You know, it could take a while if you look at the span of time here. It doesn't say the span of time. Let's see. But yeah, can you see what I'm saying? Like these trend lines here, there, and then here. This would be not the 5th time, but I guess the 4th time that I can see that this has happened. Okay, so 1 out of 4 times. So yeah, I'm just looking between now and August 26th for a bottom, you know?
So things probably, like prediction, things will continue to fall to August 26th. And then we don't know if it's going to fall more or go up from that date. That's just that's just when it hits the line and then something happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough to say just because the macro environment's there's a lot going on, things that haven't happened before. You know, we're potentially entering a recession, which Bitcoin has never been around for. You know, we've been in like a 10-year inflated bull market. So honestly, anything can happen. But to me, the safest point of entry for Bitcoin is between where we're at and this trend line. It's the safest point. It could go a little bit lower if things get really, really bad. But to think that crypto's wiped out, I think is a little foolish. I mean, things could definitely hit the fan. But yeah, blockchain's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. But you know what I'm saying? It's between now and August where we're going to find some kind of bottom. It's looking like.
Okay. So keep buying pirate till then?
I mean, that's your call. You know, I mean, I can't make that decision for anyone. But basically,
yeah.
Dollar cost averaging this is where it makes the most sense. You know, because even if pirate takes a nosedive. Go ahead. There's a bit of a lag.
All right, interesting times we're living in. That's all.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, well, we're at the top of the hour now. I'm freaking exhausted and flying to Jersey in a couple days, so I got a bunch to do. It's nice that I took time out of my day to do this, and all this guy could say is I want roots back. I mean, a lot of people feel.
Hold on, we're a band of pirates, right? This is everybody's call. That Matt, you're taking this upon your shoulders to provide something useful for someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? It's like, hey, maybe we should put in the channel, like, hey, this pirate meeting's for everyone. Like, if people have something to share, bring it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, Matt, for what you do.
You're welcome. And I'll get better at making it more interactive. You know, it helps when there's more people here, too. But I'll start the calls off with some interaction, you know, and then we'll end it with interaction, just to be sure.
Cool. Well, good luck with everything, Matt. Take care.
All right, you too. Talk to you later, Amy. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, everybody, this is the Pirate Chain Weekly Community Meeting and Market Analysis In-Depth on Wednesday, June 15th. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. That is the plan. And I want to thank you for tuning in. You can join the Acorn Labs Telegram channel, subscribe on YouTube and Twitter, and that's where we post the replays. And thank you for tuning in.
Like maybe just like, you know, if let people like chat and say hi when you first join so you can confirm you've got audio and stuff. And I'll let people shoot the shit a little, just say hi while you start pulling up the charts.
Alright, well thank God I recorded the audio, so this wasn't a total waste of time like God says. And I think one to nice. Back instead of wasting time for TA, but I mean, whatever. Not all pirates are the most intellectual breed of humans. I mean, it's just a fact. Let people start shooting the shit in the beginning and then ask what charts they might want to see or something like that. I don't know. That'll give you more time to prep anyway. Yeah, boy, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that next week. The problem was when I started this, stream, I had, well, Pirate Oasis was there. I had one person here, so it didn't hit me to like get that consensus going, just make sure everyone can hear me. But I guess I had video and I might have audio too. I mean, I definitely have it on my phone, so I'll post the replay of this today. And sorry. Nice, you can match it up. Yeah, I can sync it up. Sorry about that. It's hard. There's a lot of pressure on you. Alright. How are you doing otherwise? Yeah. When you give us briefs, not like I saw whatever charts, like I didn't know if my audio was messed up, right? So I didn't know if I was doing something wrong, so I exited, came in, blah, blah, blah. I know that for one of these channels, you can do, how come you can do video and we can't? Oh man, I had to jump through hell and high water to make this happen, because I was using like 𝘗𝘓.tv to do the video audio stuff, and I reached out to Drake and I was like, hey man, can you like give me some permissions? So it's a whole debacle where like he has to assign permissions. Yeah. You're allowed, we're not applying to save bandwidth or something like that. That makes sense. But yeah, no, I don't know. Let people shoot the shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people just want to talk, but no, it's a lot of pressure on you. So yeah, what's with the August 26th date, and hopefully we'll be able to move to Texas before that. Yeah, let's go to try and look at it. It's August. I mean, this isn't like a firm date. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, August 26th. I mean, it doesn't have to be that, but that's like a good approximate time for price to basically come up, go down, come up, go down, find its way down to the support. And this trend line, basically what I was trying to say is like, this is the 5th time in the history of bull markets for Bitcoin that there's been this trend line of resistance and support where the bottom was in, you know? So we're pretty much moving on. We haven't touched the trend line in a while. You know, it could take a while. If you look at the span of time here, it doesn't say the span of time. Let's see. But yeah, can you see what I'm saying? Like these trend lines here, there, and then here. This would be the, not the 5th time, but I guess the 4th time that I could see that this has happened. Okay, so 1 out of 4 times. So yeah, I'm just looking between now and August 26th for a bottom, you know? So things probably, like, prediction, things will continue to fall to August 26th, and then we don't know if it's going to fall more or go up from that date. That's just when it hits the line and then something happens. Well, yeah, I mean, it's really, It's tough to say just because the macro environment's so, there's a lot going on, things that haven't happened before. You know, we're potentially entering a recession, which Bitcoin has never been around for. You know, we've been like a 10-year inflated bull market. So honestly, anything could happen. But to me, the safest point of entry for Bitcoin is between where we're at and this trend line. It's the safest point. It could go a little bit lower if things get really, really bad. But to think that crypto's wiped out, I think is a little foolish. I mean, things could definitely hit the fan. But yeah, blockchain's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. But you know what I'm saying? It's between now and August where we're going to find some kind of bottom. It's looking like.
Okay. So keep buying pirate till then?
I mean, that's your call. You know, I can't make that decision for you. But basically, dollar cost averaging this is where it makes the most sense. You know, because even if pirate takes a note dive. Go ahead, there's a bit of a lag.
All right, interesting times we're living in. That's all.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, well, we're at the top of the hour now. I'm freaking exhausted and flying to Jersey in a couple days, so I've got a bunch to do. It's nice that I took time out of my day to do this, and all this guy could say is I want roots back. I mean, a lot of people feel.
And the pirate, right? This is everybody's call. That Matt, you're taking this upon your shoulders to provide something useful for someone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's like, hey, maybe we should put in the channel, like, hey, this pirate meeting's for everyone. Like, if people have something to share, bring it, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Anything that we do.
You're welcome, and I'll get better at making it more interactive. You know, it helps when there's more people here too. But I'll start the calls off with some interaction, you know, and then we'll end it with interaction, just to be sure.
Well, good luck with everything, Matt. Take care.
You too. Talk to you later, Amy. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, everybody, this is the Pirate Chain Weekly Community Meeting and Market Analysis in Depth on Wednesday, June 15th. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. That is the plan. And I want to thank you for tuning in. You can join the Acorn Labs Telegram channel, subscribe on YouTube and Twitter, and that's where we post the replays. And thank you for tuning in. Ooh, buddy, what you doing? Hey, buddy.